In this pencast, we're going to be learning about graphing linear equations. This problem says, graph the linear equation 4x minus 2y equals 6. Alright, so the first step whenever we're graphing an equation is to put it in the proper form. So we're going to put this in what's called slope-intercept form, or y equals mx plus b form. Alright, so to do that, basically we just want to solve for y. So we have 4x minus 2y equals 6. To solve for y, the first thing we're going to do is subtract 4x from both sides. So what we have is negative 2y equals 6 minus 4x. So then we're going to divide both sides by negative 2. And we end up with y equals negative 3 plus 2x. Alright, so the second step is to find our points. So there's two ways to do this. The first one is to make a table. So when we do that, what we're going to do is pick points for x, plug those in, and solve the equation for y. Alright, so let's pick the points 0, 1, and 2. So if we plug 0 into the equation, we get y equals negative 3 plus 2 times 0, which is also equal to negative 3. If we plug in 1 into the equation, y equals negative 3 plus 2 times 1, which is equal to negative 1. And if we plug in 2, we get y equals negative 3 plus 2 times 2, which is equal to positive 1. Alright, so from those 3 points, we could graph the equation. So that's step 3. Alright, so let's sketch a plot. Alright, so once we've got our plot sketched, we just graph our points. So our first point is 0, negative 3. So that means we're at 0 on the x-axis and negative 3 on the y-axis. So that's right here. The second point is 1, negative 1, so that means we go over 1 to the right on the x-axis and then down 1 on the y-axis. And our third point is 2, 1, so we go over 2 on the x-axis and up 1 on the y-axis. Once we've plotted those points, we can connect them to make a line. And then we put arrows on the end of our line to show that it goes on infinitely in both directions. And that is the line y equals negative 3 plus 2x. Alright, so the second way we could have found our points would have been to determine the slope and intercept of the line. So when we have a line in the form y equals mx plus b, we know that m is what we call the slope, and b is what we call the y-intercept. So our equation says y equals negative 3 plus 2x. So if we rearrange that, we can get y equals 2x minus 3. So this means that 2 is the slope, and the y-intercept is negative 3. So from that information, we would know that the first point we want to plot would be 0, negative 3, since that's where it intersects the y-axis. And the slope would be 2. So the slope is rise over run. So that means that the amount we go to the right and then the amount we go up or down. So since our slope is 2, that means that our rise is 2 and our run is 1. So whenever we go 1 to the right, we go 2 up. So if we had started by graphing this point 0, negative 3, which we know is right here, which is called the y-intercept, then we could have used the slope when we would have gone over 1 and up 2 to get to our next point, over 1 and up 2 to get to our next point. So that's how we could have plotted the same graph using the slope-intercept method.